Honestly, I feel like at this point, there's just always laundry air drying in the background. You should air dry your laundry. Like, forget saving the turtles. Let's like save the planet. Hey guys, it's Sunny. I'm back. I've been seeing this trend. By trend, I mean like I saw 2 people doing it, but I thought that it was such a fun idea. I say fun, but what I really mean is like I am in fact ready to start a fight. So today I'm gonna be reading 1-star reviews on my favorite books. I'm not saying that like my opinion is like the right way or the highway, but like all of my favorite books that I'm about to tell you are like for sure like 5-star reads, like that's just a fact. I also thought that it would be a good opportunity to share what my favorite books are. I don't think I've ever actually like said like what my favorite books are. Obviously everyone knows that one of them is gonna be 6 of Crows, but like I need to like let everyone know that I have some more spice to me. I don't only love 6 of Crows, okay? I like Crooked Kingdom too. I'm gonna do 6 of Crows first because why even deny Speak Your Truth? I'm on Goodreads. I feel like there's just one 1-star review. Oh my gosh, no, there are several. What is wrong with— I'm sorry. Okay, let's read. I don't know if I should read names. I won't. I honestly can't figure out what people are in this book. Not only is the plot as dry as a bowl of oatmeal, the characters, the ones I was told were amazing, are also flat and boring. These characters are about as flat as Saskatchewan, and I'm gonna explain why. If you're not Canadian, this might take some explaining to do, but basically Newfoundland and PEI, Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, Quebec, Ontario, from there you'll see Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta, BC. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta are the prairie provinces, okay? They're supposed to be like flat as a board, like me, like literally flat as a board. I actually spent 1 summer in Saskatchewan for this like stay away program. I was fully thinking that if I just like looked straight in front of me, like I could see like at least like buffalo, but it was actually hella hilly. We hiked like this, so it was not flat at all. This is my long way of saying that everyone should go to Saskatchewan and be— 6 of Crows characters are not flat and boring. We got like full backstory, full flashbacks. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of flashbacks in books, but I'm such a hoe for the flashbacks in 6 of Crows. Let's move on. Oh my gosh, what? I was really shocked just now. The setting of 6 of Crows is a modern pornographic imaginary that equates death with sex, feelings with weakness, and ignores basic human psychology in favor of a James Bond level action tale. In this essay, I will. Wait, can I be honest? This is really interesting, actually. I would read the thesis paper. Wait, this person, Melissa. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna say names. I'm kind of like obsessed with Melissa. No one is innocent, morally clean, or good in this book, and because every adult is completely morally rotten, the teenage boys are all permanently emotionally damaged, and the teenage girls and homosexual boys who are coded as feminine by society are the sole vessels of any humanity left in the world, the life rafts that the permanently damaged boy must cling to in order to survive their emotional trauma. I actually think that one of the appeals about this book is that no one is innocent and morally clean. I'm not sure if I saw any like clinging. I don't think anyone actually overcame their emotional trauma by the end of this book, and even by the end of the series. And the girls also were overcoming their own trauma. Like I think that everyone just had horrible childhoods, had horribly unfortunate things happen to them, and they all had companionship within each other in order to learn from one another and guide each other, but no one was like the cure for anyone else. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Melissa, but I kind of disagree. Oh, this one has emojis. It says, when I think of the word disappointment, 6 of Crows comes to mind. Gosh, this review has so much personality in it, like I'm kind of obsessed with it. Minty? Jesper's only personality trait is liking guns. Listen! Okay, my only personality trait is liking 6 of Crows. Like, don't come for me. Also, Jesper's only personality trait is not just liking guns. He's also a Wyland simp, okay? But for real though, he's also like very complex and like dealing with a gambling addiction. He is dealing with the guilt of like dropping out of university. Old, crusty, musty cows. I'm gonna stop you right there. You can say what you want about 6 of Crows. The one thing that you can't say is that these characters are old. That's like the one thing that I would say is like a flaw about 6 of Crows. Everyone here is an infant. Listen, I'm in the embryology unit of anatomy, and I look at embryology and all I see is like 6 of Crows characters. I'm looking at this fetus and I'm like, these fools be out here looking like this and trying to rob an ice palace. It says Kaz is boring and extremely overhyped. Honestly, I cared about Alina more than I cared about Kaz. I would sell Kaz's soul for $10 or less. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I don't even have $10. Matthias, like greater than Kaz, because Matthias actually went through character development, and even though he was brainwashed as a child, his love for Nina overcame that. Honestly, I respect whatever like tier people rank the characters in, because there's honestly no wrong answer. But I would strongly disagree with the fact that Kaz went through no character development. That's a lie. Listen. How do you explain that scene in the book where, you know what I'm talking about, everything screws up and then Kaz like slips up a little bit? Like, that would not have happened in the beginning of the novel. Inej is an average main character. That one is treason. Okay, I'm gonna move on because I actually have to like go in a hot minute. The next book that I'm going to search up is Clockwork. I feel like Clockwork Prince was the best one, but I feel like Clockwork Angel is probably the one that makes more sense to do. Ugh, I need to reread this. Okay, it says here, let's get a few good points out there. She stopped using so many similes. There's no creepy incest in this book, which I was like, this is such a welcome surprise. I haven't reread it in a hot minute, so I know it's not like the perfect book in the world, but I really stand by the series and I will until death. It says the recycling of characters. The main characters in the Infernal Devices are the photocopy versions of the main characters in the Mortal Instruments. Tessa is Clary, Will is Jace, Jem is Simon, Teresa Gray, Clarissa Frey. Do you see the similarity here? Why can't Miss Clare come up with some other slightly more original names for her heroines? I wonder if this person read like the rest of the Shadowhunter. Like, who's gonna tell them? Anyway, moving on. Tessa's similarity with Clary doesn't just end here. Clary was looking for her mother, who was kidnapped by the villain, and Clary soon realized her mother had hidden a secret from her. On the other hand, Tessa was also looking for her brother in London, and her brother was also kidnapped by the villain. Oh my gosh, like the main character's motivation is to save a loved one who was put in peril by the villain of the story. Oh my gosh, this is so promising. Will Herondale, an essay. I could honestly make a whole video that is also titled Will Herondale, an essay. He's possibly one of the rudest characters I've ever read about. I agree. I've read numerous comments telling me that it's all explained in the next book. No, absolutely not. Explain it in the first book, otherwise he'll just seem like a spoiled jerk. Where's the lie? Yeah, I honestly agree. Will is like so mean for no reason, and then it gets explained in the next book. Honestly, when I was reading it, I had the exact same thought. I was like, ew. But then at the same time, I was like, wait, but why am I kind of in love with him? Like, he's really funny and really charming. Like, I think that that's where it gets you. Also, the first book, there are like some scenes that keeps you like wanting to know, like wanting to like crack the mystery and figure out this guy. He'll just be like mean and like low-key and intellectual in the privacy of him and Tessa, and it'll make you be like, oh, what is happening? And that's the beauty of it. And then in Clockwork Prince, literally the more that you hate Will in the first book, the more that you are setting yourself up for success in the next book. So like, go off, Sophia with an F. Next, Tessa Gray, the Fault in Our White protagonist. This one, I'm afraid to read this because I'm not gonna have a lot to like argue about it, because low-key, I'm not the biggest fan of Tessa as the protagonist. Like, I feel like she was more like a vehicle for us readers to like, no, I'm not about to drag Tessa. We're not gonna do that here. Tessa is not like other girls. She likes to read. Oh, and she also likes to scorn Jessamine for being a shallow twit. Also, I feel like liking books is not anything like unique, especially during this time when there was like no technology, like no social media. I feel like the majority of people probably like to read. What else are you gonna do? Also, like, I scorned Jessamine too. Like, you're lying if you say that you actually like love Jessamine from the beginning, because you didn't, okay? She was mean for no reason. She was mean, self-centered, selfish. Oh gosh, I need a dip soon. We need to get a move on. Okay, the next one is gonna be the Raven Boys. Ooh, this one I have I have an interesting relationship with this one, because I actually was not the biggest fan of this book when I tried to read it for the first time, and the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time. But I'm like a full simp like for this series now. I'm such a simp for all of the boys. I'm not gonna lie. I love Blue and Gansey. This is the trend you're gonna see, like all my favorite series. It's because of like the love story in it that I'm like such a big fan of it. Like it's a big component, and then everything else just fits in so nicely. I know that it's not everyone's cup of tea. Like, it's really slow moving. It's obscure AF. Like, literally these boys trying to find like a Welsh king. Maggie's so interesting. I'm like, I really wonder where she got the inspiration for this. But it says this person started this and then gave up after a few chapters, which honestly, that happened to me. Maybe I've just heard too much about these characters. The book doesn't feel fresh and exciting to me. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it can feel a little stale, I feel like, especially if you are very saturated within like the YA genre. I don't know, I feel like this is kind of like a right place, right time. You need to be in like a certain mood in order to like really love it a lot. Then what else? Definitely missing a lot, but I think then the last one that I will do is... I want to do the Dark Artifices, but I feel like I already did the Infernal Devices. I feel like it's gonna be more of the same low-key. Maybe I'll do Chaos Walking, like the Knife of Never Letting Go. That series is... I'm genuinely gonna be shocked if there are a lot of 1-star reviews. This series is underrated. More people need to read this series. Oh my gosh, but also, this was also one of those books that took me a couple of tries to get into. Actually, I think all of my favorite books took me at least twice to like actually read the entire thing and then really love it. Things that bothered me was the unlikable main character Todd, which I kind of agree. Todd is not the most likable character, dude, especially at the beginning. But I feel like you can't pin that on him considering how he grew up. The way the author just kept piling onto the characters was absolutely ridiculous. Seriously, how many bad things can you think of to put your characters through? Honestly, girl, same. Literally, they actually couldn't catch a break. Like, if you read the first book, I remember the feeling when I got to the last scene, literally the last sentence of the book, the way that your heart just freaking deflates, like a reverse Grinch. It's a journey, honestly. I wouldn't count that as a bad thing. It definitely is like a lot though. But whatever, I love this series. Okay, I have to dip now, but like, yeah, thanks for joining me. Those are my favorite books, and everyone's funny. People are so freaking funny. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.